we really started to think, well, there's quite a few negatives towards actual bandit signs. And probably the biggest one is they're called bandit signs because they're illegal. They're illegal in most municipalities. They don't like them up. I mean, people put them up, but they don't stay up very long. So that was part of the issue that, they don't stay up very long.
Kevin, thank you for joining me for our Thought Leader Spotlight series. I'm your host over here, Matt Kamp, head of partnerships at DealMachine. And on these, we like to shine an industry spotlight on experts like yourself, hear your inspiring stories, and educate our audience on how you see the real estate world evolving. So today, really excited to welcome on Kevin Churchman. I know you're somebody who has a small portfolio of single family homes, vacation homes as well in Idaho. How long have you been an investor as well, working on those?
We started investing early. We invested in most of these properties literally over a decade ago. So we were investing. We did a little bit of development back in the mid 2000s, and surprisingly, we were very lucky that we sold some things and kind of missed all the nastiness of the late 2000s, and then from there we went into a brick and mortar business after that, and so we just hung on to the portfolio that we've had. And so now we're looking to add some more.
Nice. Well, yeah, I know. You like you mentioned the other business as well. I know you guys owned a large commercial printing, mailing and marketing company with your wife that you sold, and now are on to digitalbanditsigns.com. So, Kevin, welcome on. Excited to have you. Can you maybe talk, more on your end around, the idea? Maybe let's start with real world bandit signs, just because not everybody in our audience knows what that is. Can you maybe define, physical real world bandit signs for our audience, what those are and the issues they might have?
Yeah. So when we sold our business that we had about a year ago, we started jumping back into the real estate world. And part of that was, we started taking courses. We ran across DealMachine, which was been fabulous for us. And in all the study that we started doing to try and get back into the current market, we just found that they all offered bandit signs. And for those out here that aren't familiar with the bandit sign, it's those little signs you see stuck around street corners and, as you drive around town. Most of the time they're yellow, or, they advertise usually real estate, or they'll advertise a painter or something like that. So that's an actual physical bandit signs. And most of the real estate programs that we were, involved in were really talking about using bandit signs. They found that they worked really well, that they got some benefit from them. People would call. It's targeted towards a specific, consumer or person that needs to sell their house in a hurry. And so anyway, bandit signs seem to be one strategy that, was kind of across the board. And so we started looking at them, like everybody. Well, gosh, maybe we should get them printed and do that kind of thing. And then we started to kind of discover, well, we weren't really sure we wanted to be the people that went out and planted signs all over the place. And so that was kind of our impetus for thinking outside the box. My wife, Stephanie, she said, I'm not going to go put those signs out. That was kind of her moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair. Can you, with the hesitations there, can you walk us through what kind of led you to the digital bandit signs, approach as well?
Yeah. So when we got to the kind of realization that we didn't want to do that, we know that we had one mentor, Scott Jelenic, who is I think he's a DealMachine guy. We really like him, and he had mentioned in his bandit sign. He has a whole thing on bandit signs, and he had mentioned that he had hired someone to go place them for him, and he had to turn around and track that person, to make sure that he put them out. And then a lot of times they would go back and they would be gone, or the person wouldn't put them out. So we really started to think, well, there's quite a few negatives towards actual bandit signs. And probably the biggest one is they're called bandit signs because they're illegal. They're illegal in most municipalities. They don't like them up. I mean, people put them up, but they don't stay up very long. So that was part of the issue, that, they don't stay up very long. They get beat up because they're signs. People take them. We realize it's hard to read them when you're driving by. If you really want to get the message, you kind of have to turn around and go back and read it again, or write the number down. And so we just kind of came up with a laundry list of things of, gosh, they seem difficult. And then because I had a background in digital advertising from the print business, believe it or not, we did very big mail campaigns there, and we would combine digital ad campaigns with print campaigns. So that
Mhm.
was something that I added to the business that we had. And so I kept that side of it. And so Stephanie said, why don't you just run ads that look like Bandit signs? Very smart wife. And so anyway, that's kind of how it became. And it said, that's a great idea. And so we did some research in the market to see if there were actually a lot of people doing this, and surprisingly, there are not. Um, I'm hoping, because it's just a really good idea that no one had quite thought of yet, but it seems to really be working. And so we literally just run ads that look like Bandit signs, and then direct them back to wholesale real estate people's websites or their landing pages.
Nice. How is that performing so far? Like, I was curious on, how that kind of
You know,
measures
we,
up.
we launched a few months ago, and so far it's good. We went through our test phase where we did some testing on certain accounts, and now we're picking up actual accounts. So far it's been really good. We've learned a
Nice.
lot through our testing, and so now we're picking up actual clients pretty quickly. And so
Nice.
we're running in multiple states, which is great. It's kind of the great thing about this is that you don't have to be in the state where you live to make it work. Or if I know there's lots of people out there that they're trying to buy and sell in multiple states.
Mhm.
So I mean, you can't live in St. Louis and go plant signs in Boise, right? But you
Mhm.
can this way. So it's pretty flexible in the way that it works.
Nice. Do you have any other, through your testing phase, any other tips with people so far on like how to be successful with this strategy? Like what, biggest mistakes you've made through testing, like curious on lessons learned you've already gotten.
Yeah, what we've really found, I mean, most of it is that we tried to test every variable of sign. So if you've looked
Mhm.
out there, there's quite a few signs that are, we tried different colors, we tried motion, we tried signs that look really nice, and what we really found, surprisingly, or maybe not surprisingly, is that the yellow sign, that just a kind of a plain yellow sign that everybody says you should use as a physical sign, tends to work the best in the digital world as well. That sign gets the most clicks, and
Mhm.
so that's what we found really seems to work the best. We keep running multiple versions of signs for customers so far, and but still that one, they all perform, but that one always performs the best.
Nice. Um, is there any other targeting tips or things you've learned on how to place
We
individuals?
found what we compare ourselves to signs. So that's kind of been our initial thing. I mean, there's a lot of marketing for real estate wholesalers, but our first initial part was how can we be better than signs? And so the tips that we've had for marketing is we send out to specific zip codes. So that tend to be the best way to target was through zip coding. And
Hmm.
then within those zip codes, we only target homeowners. So we're not targeting, renters or just general people. I mean, we want to spend people's money effectively and to make sure they get the best return for it. The second part, I think, which probably maybe the most important part of the system, is that you need to have a really good place to send people who click on your ad or your sign.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
having a good landing page or a really good website, that's probably the most important, because once we can get the people to your site, but if your site isn't high quality, they're going to bounce, and
Hmm.
so you'll get a big bounce rate if you're not sending them to a good place. On
Yep.
top of that, I'll go to the next phase. So um, through my digital business, we have a system that's able to capture identities. We call it identity capture or identity resolution.
Hmm.
So anytime someone hits your site, we're up to about 50 to 60%, we can identify who that person is just from them hitting your site. So it
Wow.
doesn't really matter It doesn't matter if they really came from the ad or not. I mean, it's anybody that hits your site. It will go back and try and match that name up with a database, and then return that information to you. So in our world, it's great because if someone does click on your Bandit sign ad, goes back to your site, but they for whatever reason bounce, they're not sure, whatever, you're going to collect their name and their
Mhm.
name and email for sure, and some other information usually as well, which gives you a chance to go right back at them.
Nice. Do you know on the landing page? Do you have any tips there of like what calls to action have worked well, or anything that's increased that conversion rate?
I don't, other than, I've looked at a lot of people use the carrot pages, which seem to
Hmm.
be really well built and
Hmm.
have great information for real estate wholesalers. That's a good site,
Hmm.
I think. But I think mostly whatever's going to capture them on that page, a lot of use of their number, and how to connect with them. That's the biggest
Hmm.
thing. I know some of them good ones they have video. I've looked at several different ones. Some of them are a little plain. Some of them are really robust. And so I think working on that site, whether it's a carrot or even a carrot copy, maybe it's
Hmm.
I think those sites are really well made for specifically for real estate.
For
I think
sure.
that
Yeah,
helps a
Carrot.
lot.
Yeah, we don't mean to cut you off there, but I know Carrot on our end. I mean, they're a great partner for us. We've done a lot of content with them. On If you look up on our YouTube channel, our Carrot series, we have a playlist that's us and Carrot kind of doing code training together, and then
Yeah.
I use them for my own personal business, personal real estate. So yeah, I'm
Mhm.
definitely a fan.
Yeah, we're right in the middle of getting one of those as well. We've looked at everything, and we've been busy trying to kind of get this together. But I said to Stephanie is she's busy trying to do the real estate side and get that up and running. So Carrot is, yeah, it turned out to be probably the best one that we've seen. So, but I would say we use some of our initial testers didn't have carrot sites, and I don't think they did as well. Some of our other ones have either a carrot site or one that's very similar and have done much better with getting
Nice.
people to actually pick up the phone or fill out their form. That's kind of the nice thing from a sign. You're really getting a number. Most people will just put a phone number because it's too
Hmm.
difficult to put an email address on there or a website. When you're driving, you've only got a few seconds to actually capture that information, and
Hmm.
so this way you're actually getting them to your site. So if you really build a good site or landing page, it's going to be that's really key.
Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, if people in our audience are wanting to get started with this and like take action, like where do they start? How do they get try out this kind of digital bandit sign approach?
You know, well, the first place to go would be go to our website, which is digitalbanditsigns.com, which was
Hmm.
we were really happy to get that domain and it was
Yeah,
available. So
killer.
digitalbanditsigns.com is the domain. There's a lot of you can read all about the services that we have on the site, and then there's ways to reach out to us and connect with us. That's the easiest way now, and or send us an email, which there's links to email us in a million places on that site. And so we're a small group, so it's there's not very many of us. There's me and a couple others that work on this. So it's you're probably going to get a call right back from us. That's the way that we would have intended to work us. So it's pretty personal. It's
Love
it's
that.
advertising, so it's more of going to be a personal relationship than just going through a site and filling out a form and never hearing from anybody.
Yeah. Do you one last question I want to make sure to ask you, Kevin. I know you've talked about now you've been through a couple different businesses with Stephanie, your wife.
Yeah.
What have you learned over the years there? Like we have a ton of customers who, they are thinking about going into business with a significant other, or maybe they already have one. Like any advice there on working with, a significant other in business?
You know what? Yeah, yeah, I could say a few things. I've been my wife and I have been together for almost 40 years. We started
Congrats.
dating in 1984, and we've been married for 30. And
Wow.
we people say, "Oh, you're crazy," but we've never really had a fight. We've always just been able to talk through things, and I think that's a big thing is trusting who you're with. And she's a sharp person, and she's very smart, and
Yeah,
she's
clearly.
you know she's really she's we call and we just call her the bookkeeper in business because she's the one that keeps track of all the money and
Hmm.
knows how everything works. And so we work together. I'm probably more the creative person, And so I think, we tend to stay in our own lanes a little bit. And I trust what she's doing is what she knows what to do. And she trusts me on the other way. So, but I think just being real patient, and we really, we like spending time together. So I think that really helps that, if you're with somebody that you like being around, it really
Right.
is a good deal. She's
Yeah.
put up with me for a long time. So she's pretty good. She's a pretty
Yeah.
good gal.
Being married to a best friend like that's definitely helps. And like you said, I mean, communication and over communication, like that's what we found key. I've been hit 10 years last year myself, so
Oh, good for
so
you. That's
following
awesome.
your footsteps there.
Yeah. Does she work with you as well on things?
Yeah, she'll help out with stuff in the real estate business, and she's at home with the kids, but also find some time to help me out on a variety of things. And we're a good team. A lot of what you talk about definitely resonates. So
Yeah. It's been really it's been time goes by really fast, and we've had a great run. We've done a lot of really cool things together, and this is kind of a new one, and we're really excited to get it off the ground and get it moving, because so far it's been really good.
I love hearing it. Well, Kevin, this has been fantastic, man. Like, is the best way for people to get in touch to go through that digitalmandatscience.com site then?
Yeah,
Or
I'll give you a couple rates. So go to digitalbanditscience.com is the easiest way to do it. And then the
Mhm.
second thing, or you can just send us an email at service@digitalbanditscience.com. But if you go to the website, you're going to get that link all over the website. And like I said, you're probably going to get a phone call and chat through, how it works and how to do it, and we're happy to hold your hand. Digital advertising is a little bit confusing, I think, to some people. So we're very happy to walk people through it and get it. And just to reiterate, so people understand, when you go online and you pull up a website or a landing page, or you pull up something on your phone and you see those little square ads that are all over everything, that's what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Just to confirm, so people know exactly what that is.
Yeah, like it's putting a bandit sign digitally on digital real estate, like digital
Exactly.
place like that. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. We run through 32 different networks. So there's literally millions of websites that carry ads, and
Mhm.
thousands and thousands of apps. So there's no chance that your ad is not going to get seen.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep us posted how it's going. Like, I'm very excited about the idea and you getting out there, and I know you're a great member of the Deals Machine community as well. So
Oh yeah,
um,
we love DealMachine. We love the software, but for everyone else out there, I'll tell you the which I know you've got to go here in a few minutes, but
yeah, we're running
the
one.
meetings, the master classes are the best.
Hmm. Thank you so
That's
much.
been, of all the things that we've done, the training and education that comes from you guys is really great, first rate.
Appreciate that. Yeah, we put a lot into it, and I love running those. So that means a lot. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Yeah, no, it's we love it. You're our favorite one for sure.
Love it. Well,
So
I will make sure we link to all of that in the description below. Kevin, really appreciate you coming on, sharing advice with our community, and let's go jump over to the masterclass.
I'm headed that way right now. Thanks, Matt.
Fantastic. So to everyone watching, this is Matt Kamp with Deal Machine, and happy deal finding.